When a ghost from Superman's past returns more powerful than ever, it will be up to the League to stop them. All this and more in the pages of Justice League issue number 40, the big premiere issue for Robert Venditti. Let's hop on in together and find out what happens next, shall we? So, as we join the story, the League is responding to a man who fell to Earth. No, it's not David Bowie, but how cool would it have been if it was David Bowie? Whoever this guy is, there's no doubt he's incredibly powerful. After all, you would have to be to survive a fall to Earth. It's also pretty common wisdom in the DC universe that good stuff doesn't fall out of the sky. Well, not unless you're Superman, and that was like one time in a billion. Actually, speaking of Superman, this guy starts shooting at the League with laser vision that looks exactly like Superman's, and it should, because this guy we discover is a Daxamite. Don't know who the Daxamites are? Well, allow me to fill you in. They're from planet Daxam, a planet that millennia ago were colonized by the ancient Kryptonians, meaning that they're basically Kryptonians themselves after a fashion. Only instead of being empowered by Earth's yellow sun, they are instead empowered by red sun rays. Turns out this guy is actually a rather famous Daxamite too. He's Sodom Yacht. It's actually Green Lantern John Stewart who recognizes Yacht, and he should. Outside being a Daxamite, Yacht was a Green Lantern himself, and a pretty powerful and decorated one at that. As we discover, Yacht left the Green Lantern Corps to get into politics. He ran the Isolationist Party. No, he wasn't trying to keep other people out of Daxam, quite the opposite. He was trying to keep all the Daxamites in for fear of their amazing power, a fear that turned out to be totally founded, as the planet was infiltrated and after a fact conquered by the Eradicator, an ancient Kryptonian war machine programmed for the sole purpose of furthering the Kryptonian race. You'll remember this character first famously appeared rocking the Bret Hart shades during the Death and Return of Superman era of stories. Then he bummed around for a little bit. In the last couple of years he was working under General Zod. But now he's struck out on his own, creating a brand new cloned army of Daxamites, better than the originals with their red sun dependency bred out of them. Now he's leading them all to Earth so they can soak up all that yellow sun and become powerful. Did I mention they're also resistant to kryptonite? Well, they are. That means that if the League wants to stop them, they're gonna have to get creative. Batman goes to London in hopes of recruiting Madame Xanadu, in hopes that she'll give the team the magic muscle they need to bring down this rogue army. It's also here we're reminded that Alfred is dead, but Batman is talking to Alfred in his computer, meaning that Batman is either imagining it or Batman has already created a perfect Alfred AI. Honestly, I'd believe either. Naturally, dealing with all the sins of Krypton past has Superman kind of bummed at the moment. It's also here we're reminded, too, that Bendis outed Superman's identity once again in the Superman book. Which, yes, would also mean that this comic is taking place during all those events, but also before the events of the end of Snyder's own Justice League. That's why Martian Manhunter and Hawkwoman aren't around. If that choice leaves you deeply confused and you're wondering why on earth DC would do something like this, don't worry, they're just gonna Crisis or 5G it all out of existence anytime now, so just run with it. The heroes all catch word that the Eradicator and his forces are ready to make landfall, and hey, of all the places they choose to land, they choose Metropolis, because why wouldn't they choose Metropolis? Madame Xanadu can't get there quick enough to back up the good guys, but she seems to not be playing ball with Batman right now. Despite normally being shown as a good guy, she's taken Batman hostage with her magic powers. Maybe next time don't send someone as shouty as Batman to get help, maybe send someone a little bit more diplomatic, just a thought. As the comic winds down, the Eradicator and his army of supermen make their presence known to the rest of the Justice League. Their message is simple: render under the new Kryptonian regime or die. And so that was Justice League number 40, everybody, and I can already tell the continuity and placement of this new series is going to be a tough pill for a lot of people to swallow, but if you can look past that, there is a good Justice League story in here. In a lot of ways, it feels like a real back-to-basics sort of Justice League story, which is maybe exactly what we need right now following Snyder's big universe-hopping, world-redefining take. Venditti certainly shows off how deep his DC knowledge goes, with the Daxamites letting the Eradicator be a solo villain again, and yet despite all of that, this also feels like a very friendly first issue too for people who may not be picking up Justice League regularly. Trigon help you though if you are just a casual comic reader and you went right from Snyder's Justice League 39 to this, because you're probably going to be super confused. Overall though, I'd give this a 7.5 out of 10. Pretty solid premiere issue with lots of places to go. Hey there everyone, it's your pal Cape Joel again, and if you're seeing my face right now, that means you watched to the end of the video, and I'll always be grateful for that. Retention helps in this crazy YouTube game, and so does becoming a patron. If you head on down to the description, you can find a link to my Patreon page. Recently just redid all the tiers, a lot of cool stuff offering up there, exclusive commentaries, exclusive polls, behind the scenes concept art for Capes and Quests. That's the brand new D&D show I've started soon. Never been a better time to become a patron. You can become a patron for as little as $1 a month and help the channel grow and, help me continue to deliver content like what you just saw. So I want to thank you all, and I will see you again next time. Bye-bye.